morning, everybody. This is Radio Entrepreneurs, and we are in downtown Plymouth today. We are live from the Antique Exchange here in Plymouth. My guest is Alex Mansfield, and he is with the Jones River Watershed Association. Hi, Alex. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the Watershed Association and how long it's been around and that kind of stuff?
Sure. Good morning. Good morning. My name's Alex Mansfield. I'm the Ecology Program Director with Jones River Watershed Association, JRWA. The organization has been around for about 25 years, formed in 1985. I've been with them for 10 years now, since 2007. The organization is in Kingston, just up the road in the next town north of here. And our focus is environmental protection and restoration and improvement of the watershed of the Jones River and the surrounding lands, open space. The Jones River is the largest river draining into Cape Cod Bay.
Oh, okay.
It's a historic river. It's named after Christopher Jones, the captain of the Mayflower. It was a place where the Pilgrims sailed up 400 years ago, almost, and now today it's a place that has a thriving community around it and has sort of all the beautiful benefits of coastal stream, with all of the threats and impairments that come with 400 years of civilization.
So your job is to protect that area. Is that an ecosystem that's very paramount for this area? Or?
It really is. It's a small river. It's about 7.5 miles long. And so it's not the Connecticut River, it's not the Merrimack, it's certainly not the Mississippi, but it's a really amazing river for the area in that it has pretty much every sort of coastal stream component that you can imagine in this really short area. It's a real microcosm of coastal systems. It has a big glacial headwater lake, Silver Lake, at the headwater. It has this beautiful forested riverine system that winds through Kingston, and then it empties into the estuary, into Kingston Bay, where we have really productive estuary, and then where that's connected to Cape Cod Bay and the Gulf of Maine.
What have you seen over the last, say, decade in changes as far as that ecosystem goes versus maybe and you haven't been there the whole 25 years, but you've got like late 80s where things and
Sure.
the atmosphere and the tone was a little bit different about,
Yeah.
saving Bay. You had small factions of people screaming in the corner. Now it seems to be everybody's more aware. So tell us a little
Right.
bit about the improvements and what's been done. And
Well, it's interesting. I've been working with the organization for 10 years, but I grew up in the area. I grew up in Hanson. I've lived my whole life on the South
okay.
Shore, so I am kind of familiar with the whole history. And yeah, there's been good and bad. There's been pros and cons. We certainly, as you say, there's been, a more of an awareness of sort of environmental advocacy and the importance of how fisheries connect to inland to the bay. At the same time, the South Shore has grown a lot. We certainly have a lot more residences and businesses and along with that comes landscaping and nutrient inputs to the system, and certainly more traffic and stormwater runoff from roads. So there's impacts, and but then we're working on, for example, we've done one dam removal on the Jones River. We're working on a second one, much like in Plymouth here, where they've done several. And so we're actually making big improvements since sort of industrial era, structures that were put up in the river. So I think we're making it's net benefit in the end. We're making progress.
Good.
Yeah.
So what is the goal of the association in general? And walk us through what its main purpose really is and why it was founded.
Sure. So the Watershed Association, as I said, was formed in 1985, and it was really in response to a drought in the 80s that drew down Silver Lake, that had big impacts on stream flow and fisheries and all that. And that was really what kicked it off. And so the mission of the Watershed Association has always been environmental advocacy, protection of the river. But as we've grown, we've come to understand more connections, how that connects to the bay, how that connects to the community. And so the organization now has sort of a broader, more regional view of environmental protection. We have a headquarters now since around 2004 or 5, the Jones River Landing Environmental Heritage Center, 55 Landing Road in Kingston. If you ever want to stop by, beautiful spot right on the river. That where we really engage the community as well. So we do traditional wooden boat building there.
Oh.
We have lecture series. We have parties, music, and it's really a way to get the community. It's kind of a community center where people can come together and talk about these issues and reconnect. And so, for example, the boat building. If you put someone in a boat out on the river, it changes their whole perspective on their connection to the river.